Hello, Teaquilters. Today is Saturday, December 3rd, 2022, and it is 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're here for live sew and chat. So, forgive my hair. I had on a hoodie today, and so I had to take it on and off a couple of times. So, my hair is reflecting such. Let me pause that and get into the actual chat. So, welcome everybody. I hope you all had a great Saturday today. I am still, I normally don't have events on the first Saturday of the month, but I did today. So, I did have something to do. Excuse me. Just sneezing out of anywhere. I do have the fan on, and I'm not necessarily hot now, but I just cut the lights on, so we'll see. So, project for today, so we don't go too far, is called Color Shift. This is what I'm going to be working on. Color Shift is actually a panel. The rainbow parts inside of the squares or panels is a panel that has been cut into squares. And so I am going to piece this. It's a quilt for a friend. It is going to be 50 by 70 when it's finished. And this is a free pattern. It's got Northcott on here because I think they did the fabric line, but it's actually on pattyspatchwork.com. So www.patties with an I patchwork.com. Right here at the bottom. Patty's Patchwork. Just want to make sure everybody knows what pattern I'm sewing today. And I have cut the pattern according to the instructions, and I have labeled just my panel pieces because everything else is the same. I didn't have to number that. So I am going to be doing that. So I'm not going to show any instructions on the screen just because even though it's free, you need to go download it. Because I think when I downloaded this pattern, you had to like log in, or I went through some kind of a card or something so that she knew how many people had actually downloaded it. So I just want to make sure we keep everything consistent. So I won't be sharing any cut instructions or anything like that. But as I said, it is a free pattern. So let's see. Melissa LePage is here. Craft with Love 55. Zandra Odom. Let me move you over while I'm reading. Beverly Johnson, Katie Crafts, Rose Hinton, Beverly Johnson, Janice Miller, Teresa McCormick, and Melissa talking about she made a special effort to be on time. Yay, me. Kerry Richards is here, Elaine Doucette. She said she was number 11 to thumbs up, so beat that. Francis Jackson's here. The Quilting Lady Fabric and Quilting Store says hello from Tennessee. Sherry Willingham, June Hanson, Michelle the Quilter says it's raining here all day in central New York. Sharon Lewis, Becky Bramlett. She says, hello, everybody, here to watch you sew, talk, and get your wonderful fabrics. Yes. Dee Dee is here saying, good afternoon from Fiji, T. Well, welcome. That's awesome. Dee Dee Hanson's also here from Michigan. And the Quilting Lady is also reminding you to thumbs up. Kevin the Quilter is popping in. Said, good evening, Miss T and all T Quilters. Going to try to stay awake with my pain meds. They make me sleepy. Thanks for all these turning prayers, everyone. So, yeah, I was surprised to see you in here, sir. Make sure you take care of yourself. Judy Smith says, hey, T and all. P. Gillingham says, greetings. This is my first time joining a Saturday evening sew-in chat. So welcome. Appreciate you popping in and putting in a chat comment. We appreciate all of that. Linda Denton's here. Shirley Peters. What happened, Kevin? He has some issues with his back. He's in extreme severe back pain, and none of the tests are showing anything. So Helena Marie Carter says hi, T and all quilters. Bonita Nance saying hello. Mona did what is here. Michelle saying we'll keep praying for you and your family, Kevin. And that was from Michelle. And then Jason Lewis is here saying hello to everyone. Darcy Savali, Judy, Sue GSD. Sue says, hello, TNT Quilters. It was such a joy receiving your Christmas letter. You're welcome. Carol Williams saying, hello, everyone. My brother is here saying hello. And Cynthia Maria Fields also reminding people to hit the thumbs up. So thank you, ma'am. Carol Williams is working on the November block, so that's awesome. Sue says, attention, 570 days until retreat. You know what? I'm almost wondering, thinking about retreat, is I have to look into this a little bit more in depth, but I wonder how many people would be willing to go on a road trip for a retreat. I think it's a 4-night retreat in some part of Georgia. Huh. So that's pretty cool. I've been thinking about that, so I'm just throwing it out into the atmosphere. Sheila Willis says, good evening to everyone in Florida. Seeing family, my grandson's birthday next week, spending a little time with him. So that's awesome. So happy birthday to your grandson. Phyllis G is here. Lori Clark. Dorsey is reminding people about the thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell so you'll know when T is here. We have fun. Yes, we do. And if you got any questions, even if it's off topic, please feel free to post those as well. I'll give my opinion if that's what you want. I'm sure other people will also give their opinion as well. Wash Your Hands is here. Deanne Palmer, I'm sorry. Woo, I made it on time. Hi from rainy Arizona. She says, finally. And hi, T and Teaquilters. And 22 days until Christmas. Yeah. Now that's a depressing day, right? Number of days. Remo JS is here saying good evening. Sherry says we'll have to fly out tomorrow at 5 a.m. to get rest of my things from house in Mississippi. Should be returning Tuesday. Okay. Well, stay safe, Sherry. And I do have your thing sitting right in my face now. So I forgot and changed containers. I don't know what was wrong with me for Gil. Joe Carmel Perkins is here saying, yeah, I get to catch a live. Hello, Miss T and fellow quilters. Claudette Bettis is here. Bonita Nance says, I have to travel to retreat anyway, so it won't matter where you have it. All right. C. Joy says, hi, T and everyone. Joe Carmel is talking to other people. Road trip would depend on whether I have 2024 retreat paid for. Yeah. Because I'm thinking about doing something in September of 2023. Thinking. Seriously. And it'll be for a limited number of people, too. I can't remember if it's like 12 or 14 or 16. I can't remember what the magic number was. Did I hear retreat? That's Joe Carmel. Dee Dee says a couple other quilters are also opening the Missouri store box. One of them is a downer and doesn't seem to like anything so far. The other one is a lot of fun and makes me laugh. Sue Baker says, hi, T and everyone. Vivian Cavey saying, hi, T and everyone. And I think that's it for now. In regards to the Missouri Star box, I've actually liked everything that has come out of it, but I have other criteria as to whether I'm going to use it or not. And so far we've had 3 days of opening. I can say that I like everything, but it was like, will I use it? And the Christmas fabric does not even really look like Christmas prints. It's just that I didn't want to make anything that even slightly resembled Christmas because I'm not going to be doing anything with it. Had I known that day number 3 was going to go with day number 2, I probably would have stashed the charm pack until I known what was coming the next day. I do like the cup pattern, but yeah, so it's you're gonna have everybody. You're gonna have some people that are gonna love everything that's in the box no matter what because it comes from Missouri Star Quilt Company, and you're gonna have people that just in life in general, some people you just can't please with anything. And my perspective on this is, would I have bought it for the most part? Like, is it something that I would buy if I was in the store? And for me, day 2 and 3 would have been something that I would not have purchased. So that's why I passed on the charm pack, because it was still close enough to resembling Christmas that I'm not making any Christmas projects right now. So I just decided to pass. And then when I saw what day number 3 was, unbeknownst to me, um, that was going with day number 2. So if that should happen in the future, I'm going to reserve my rights to renege the previous date if I'm not aware. I think it would have been nice to have a little note on day 2 saying that's a part 2 is with this or something like that. Coming later or something, but there was no clue in the package. Again, they're assuming that you're going to keep everything, but they didn't design it for a game, okay? So, and I do understand that, but I'm thinking, okay, if that's how it's going to work, because I've never had one of these before, I may have to reserve my right on passing if something else goes with it. But in this instance, I just decided, even though I like the pattern, I just decided to go ahead and put the fabrics and the pattern into the pass box. So there is technically 3 things in the pass box now. And I'm drinking some hot apple cider. Oh my goodness, Kevin. Sue talking about if you have a soda with Kevin, if he feels up to it, I will expect a song and dance for my birthday. Really? Zella McKenzie is here from West Michigan. Deanne says, no thanks, but we have had clear night temps down in low 40s. Yep, that's nice. Never hurts to ask you. I actually like it a little chilly, but it's not to the point where it's not so cold that you don't want to be outside. So when I was younger, I used to like 70. I was chasing 70s. Now I'm like, 45, 50 is good too. I'm truly enjoying Stash or Pass. It's fun to see what's in the Missouri Star Quilt Company box, and it helps me to see if I'd like to get one in the future. And there are some websites or YouTube people that have opened up the entire contents and have shared every content, and I just refuse to look at that. I understand that people paid their money for it, but I also feel like at that point it's disrespectful to Missouri Star when they're doing their daily thing and have asked you not to do that. So I'm waiting till the actual day to open the gifts instead of opening them all at one time. People can do what they want on their channel. So Shaquita Pearson's here, says, I love Stash or Pass. Well, thank you. And I do like reading you all's suggestions on whether I should stash or pass. Most of you all are doing from your own perspective of liking it or not. And some of you are doing it because you want me to pass it because you want to win the Stash or Pass box. So it's kind of funny. And I don't know what is up with this camera that's going, like the color is going in and out. I have no idea what that's about. I think they should have packaged it in the reverse order than what they did. Yeah, they should have. Well, I don't know if it even would have mattered because if I would have gotten a pattern and a half yard of fabric, it still wouldn't have told me whether or not I was going to get the charm pack. So I don't know if either way would have helped without a note. So I'm a little bit confused on that. So are all the boxes the same or different? They're all different size packages. If you've been looking at all the boxes that came from Missouri Star are the same. So everything that is in every box that was sent out is exactly the same. So I think that's what Sherry is asking. So it's the same. So my number one is the same as somebody else's number one. Everybody's number one is the same, all the way through to number 25. Darcy says the Stash or Pass is a fun idea for us. I just hope T doesn't lose everything. Hey, as I said, I'm not even worried about it. Before I bought it, because I thought, I didn't really like the price of something in a gambling mode per se. And when I finally pressed the send button, I was already over it at that point. So it's okay. And yeah. Right, Miss T, will get right on that for you, Susie Q. Remo says, okay, everyone, 100 people watching, thumbs up should match. That show our love and support. We have the most honest teacher and educator. Remembering points do matter. Thank you, Remo. Teresa says, I had the flu since Thanksgiving. Finally got rid of the fever, but I am wiped out and have to say goodnight. So good night, Teresa. So sorry about that. My great nephew just went to the hospital. He has the flu. I was like, what? I thought he was going in for something else when he was at the emergency room, and they said he got the flu. I'm like, oh my goodness. So hopefully you'll feel better soon. Cynthia Shades saying good evening from cold Chicago. Tamar Israel Griffin says, hey T and fellow quilters. Hey Tamar. And a lot of people are telling Teresa to feel better. Gotcha, Sherry. And Lena says, good evening. Lena Dean, good evening, T and Teaquilts. Today is my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Lena. And she says, and I just got back from having dinner with my son and daughter-in-law. I had dinner at Papa Do's. Girl, yes, that's one of my favorites, too. I go there when I want to get the gator, girl. They have a lot of good food, but I make sure I get that gator appetizer. That's for sure. Haley Etta Bryant, Billy Weather Reed, and C-Rex says, this is my first time getting the box, and I'm enjoying the process and watching your Stash or Pass time. So, yes. All right. So, again, we're doing a pattern that's called Color Stitch. Let me get the name of Color Shift. I'm sorry, Color Shift. And it's by Patty's Patchwork. It's a free pattern. So, if you just Google Color Shift, Patty's, Patti's patchwork.com. That's her website, www.pattispatchwork.com. And you can find it. So I already have my pieces cut, kind of got them some kind of semblance of how they're supposed to be in order. My concern is going to be these squares that they look like they could be upside down sometimes, and then the other way not so much. So I don't know what's upside, if there's an upside down to this print. I really don't think so, because I see stems going both directions from how the leaves are coming off of this print. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This one has a curve in it, but this fabric here Ugh, and it has a little fold. I cut it at the fold too. Must have been that last piece I was trying to get. But yeah. And I probably didn't even, I probably just cut this fabric straight off the boat. I can't remember because I was like, it ain't gonna make no difference. These pieces are big and I'm not making half square triangles. It's not anything complicated. So there is no telling. So I've got my fabric here and I'm going to be going between this stack and this stack, making some kind of a checkerboard grid is what it is. So I've got 1A and then a print, a dark print. So that I'm sewing on today is actually going to be for a friend, not necessarily for Christmas. It was just I needed something for sewing chat, and so I just decided to cut it and do that. Kevin also has this same pattern. I did buy this print fabric on the Shop Hop along with this panel, but they were from two different stores in the same town, actually, which is weird. But I had this one at home, so I wasn't trying to buy anything once I was at home. So now I need this and a white. It's going to be kind of weird. All I did was labeled my cut squares, and everything else I'm just going to put on here. We're going to see how long I can do this without messing up, right? Tom Whittick Eckery says, hey, TNT Quilters, give our stash or past queen some love and hit the thumbs up. Well, thank you, Tom. Welcome. And June says, I paid my rent. T, did you get my block today? I forgot my dang on name again. I'm going to put a reminder on my window so I remember from now on. Unfortunately, I had some stuff to do and I did not make it to the post office today. So I'll have to wait till Monday for the next pickup for the post office. So I have no idea at this time if I have anybody's mail. It's a few things that I am looking for. And then this fabric also has butterflies in it too. But I'm not going to worry about that. We just going to piece. I'm just going to make sure that the veins of these leaves are up and down. Other than that, I'm not really caring. We just going to let it do what it do. After all, it's just something for her to just throw around her when she's like on the sofa or something. It's not going to be big, and I'm not going to make it any bigger either. It's going to be this size. So now I'm at 3. So basically, I'm sewing one of my prints with the black print. And then on another, I'm sewing the print with the white background print. The black print with the white background print. So I'm kind of making like a checkerboard design. And I'm just chaining it so I don't have to worry about things getting out of order. Lori says, I paid my rent as well. Thank you. And thanks to Sue as well. Thank you, guys. All right. So got another one with a butterfly here. So it'll be really weird if I get to the end and then I run out of pieces, but I caught myself cutting everything appropriately. So we'll see if I can count. So now, okay. What is this? Okay. Oh, that's 4A. I was like, I can't read my own writing. That's the other thing. My writing is so terrible, I can't read my own writing, okay? I thought it was a 2. It's a 4. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. So sorry, Darcy, that I didn't get a chance to check the mail today. I try to go every day, but every day is a bit much. Some days I can't make it all the time. And actually, neither one of me nor my husband was here today. So that's one of the reasons why I have mail sent to my post office, because if I know something is coming with a tracking number, then I can kind of keep track of it. But otherwise, I don't want people's stuff to get lost. So that's why I use the mailbox, because most of these are coming with non-tracking numbers. Okay, so we just did that one. We need this one. So I'm hoping that this is going to be cute. This leafy print is also the border, so I'm hoping it looks good. All right, this is the number 6. It's the last one in the row. Technically, it's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm correct. It's 11. I only marked 6 things for my pieces that I cut out of the panel. All right. And I'm not even gonna chain sew on anything else. I don't even know where my strings are. That's terrible. I got squares right here. That'll work. I hate cutting my thread. All right, so now we're on the next piece. And we don't use any of those. So 1A, 1B. All right. Okay, I should have pressed my fabric. Since these squares are pretty good size, I'm like, it's not complicated piecing here. It'll be all right. I pressed my panel to make sure it was flat, and other than that, I didn't press anything else. Hi, Deborah Sims Brown. Deborah Sims Brown. And Darcy says, I'm doing my Stay Flow starch about 50-50. So thank you, Kevin, for mentioning it last week. Tom says he's talking to Joe Carmel, asking if she got that new machine yet. So I'm just looking at what I've got up on my board. I can see the pattern that's forming here now. I just want to make sure I know what I'm doing. I don't like seam rippers, even though I'm very well acquainted with them. All right. I think I must. Oh, I got them cat-a-corner to know when I went to the next row. I'm like, why do I have to turn these? But I do know now. All right. So I think just a simple quilt, it's going to be really pretty. I don't think I'm going to do. I found out that on my long arm, and I just used it on the baby quilt. I finished the baby quilt. I completely sewed a baby quilt in 2 days, but I made it as simple as possible. My 96-year-old quilter, we had this agreement for me to finish 2 quilt tops, 2 baby quilts for her in exchange for the the FOF sewing machine. I go pick up the first quilt. I'm fixing seams, which I already knew because she's getting so older where she can't see details. And so I already know that I'm going to have that kind of stuff when I pick her stuff up. Now, and in all honesty, if I charge her for it, she will pay me. I don't even charge her for it. And when she realized I haven't charged her for it, she gives me more money anyway. So I'm not complaining. She and so when so I take them, I quilt them, provide the batting. I have to sew the backings because she'll give me 45-inch width fabrics because they're baby quilts, but she's not thinking about the fact that I got to put them on my long arm. Her quilts are about 35 by 40, and they're never wide enough for me to get the tension on them on the side clamp. So I have to piece the backs, and then I do the binding as well. So she's moving on Monday. So I went over Thursday to get the last stuff because I wanted to make sure that I had it. And when I got there, I knew in advance that she didn't have the final quilt done. And this one was the one that she wanted for Christmas. So I was like, she's moving. And when people are moving, you have stuff everywhere. So then you've got to unpack, and then you got to remember what stuff is. So I just said, okay, why don't you just put the fabrics aside that you want for the last quilt and just leave them with me? That way I'll have them. And then I picked them up Thursday. And then once I picked it up Thursday, I decided, you know what? Just take this. And that's all she told me to do was take a center panel and just put a couple borders. She gave me some fabrics, and she said, just choose any of these fabrics and then keep whatever is left. I don't really care. Use it for the back and everything. So I kind of pieced the front and the back the same, just about. And I got it quilted yesterday. So I'm going to take that back to her tomorrow. Her church is having a going away service for her. So I'm going to go to her church tomorrow. And then give her the, I did that. And I also did, she just wanted a pillow sham to cover a pillow form. So I did that. So I'm giving her those two things. And I'm going to put them in a red bag so she'll know where they are when she gets there. So she doesn't lose them. So trying to help her out as she's moving. Okay. My numbers are not matching up. 5B. Oh. You know that seam ripper? It's time to use it. This one here, I just put the wrong fabric in the wrong spot. I should have put a black piece here. I knew I'd be pulling out this ripper while I'm trying to sew and talk. And since all of these fabrics are the same, it's not like they're blocks. The only thing I got to worry about is the panel pieces. I did not lay this out like an entire quilt. I'm just going with whatever I have, except that it's got to be sewn correctly. Other than that. Okay. I got this upside down because it's on a chain. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get my seam ripper in here to rip this fast. We'll give it one try. I think I'm having sinus issues again too. I can't even get it in the seam. It should just run right down the seam, but I can't get it to do that. So we'll do it the long, hard way. Try to get it started. And I don't want to use my rotary cutter. That's what I normally use sometimes for a seam ripper when I got to rip something. And I'm not going to do that on camera for you guys. So put this back. I just need to put a black print here. I need to pay attention. Good night, Mona. Liz says, Miss T, are you going over the boho pattern instructions before we start? There is a few things I don't understand. Yes, in the Facebook group, I will be doing a live event in there. maybe on a Sunday. It's gonna be a difficult to pick a time, but because we're all in different time zones. But I am gonna try to do it on a Sunday. Maybe I need to do it on a different day, and just do it real quick, and we can get off. And or people can also watch it later too. So I need to do that. But I'm in the process of setting up a schedule, so I want to get all of that done first. Um. So yes, you will be able to ask some questions. You can also ask questions in the group as well. You can do that now. You don't have to wait. Yes, I'm a jukey junkie now, laughing out loud. Hubby says he's covered for 2023, laughing out loud. That's funny. He gonna still get you something in 2023. I ain't even hearing it. Uh, Darcy, T, is there going to be a private place for the boho heart like there is for the optional block? Yes, it's already been set up. I've been announcing that. If you pay for your book through Teaquilts, you can join that group. If you have not paid for your purchase your book from me, you need to pay 15. I think it's 15 or 20. I can't remember what the fee is in order to join the group otherwise. But if you purchased your book from me, you get in for free. So, yep. But we haven't done anything over there yet. The sew along starts January. But I'm hoping within the next week or so that I can get on there and do a live inside the group. Pulling off these threads that I just ripped. That I can do a live in that group so any questions can be answered, and then we can go over schedule and stuff like that. We might have 2 extra weeks in there. I'm trying to go from January to the end of June. So July, I'm thinking July is when your piece should be completely put together. I'm hoping. That means I'm going to have to be working too. So we're going to all be pushing it. I just do not want to do a year-long sew along anymore. It was a lot. All right. Last one on the bottom. And how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows, guys. And I'm on number 3. Or 7 columns. See what that looks like. All right. I'll just sew. I see a couple of squares, 2.5-inch squares sitting here. So we'll just sew that. Has nothing to do with what I'm doing. All right. Hey, T. Roberts. Good night. I think I said good night to Mona. Oh, Darcy says, remember to check your thumbs up before you go. All right. So we're in column number 4. Guess I should look at. I'm trying to see if I got a butterfly to turn it right side up. Otherwise, I'm not caring. Because the butterflies are kind of spaced. So if I can put those right sides up, that'll help on this part, on the squares. When I do the borders, I don't know what's going to happen. All right. It's amazing how much you accomplish without even paying attention, T. No, I can make a mess. I get on here and start talking and chatting and reading stuff, and yeah. Oops, my piece got caught and went crooked. We don't want that. Go back up here to the top. It got caught on my table. We definitely don't want that. Did you get the platinum version, Joe Cormel? Okay. She said, I feel like an idiot asking you that because once you said that, I remembered it. That's okay. I actually bought an all from Home Depot to use as a seam ripper. It works very well. That's pretty cool. um, Joanne Parker is here. Welcome to the chat. Good evening, everyone. Pray all is well with you all. My grandson had his first wrestling match today. Sorry for being late. That is awesome. Somebody posted on Facebook about one of their nephews playing sports. It was basketball. She said, "You've never been to a kid game. You need to go." She said she never laughed so hard in her life. It is so cute when they don't even know what to do. And they just start running around going the wrong direction and things like that. It's funny. Right, June. Family is first. Jason says, I was talking to my friend the other night while I was piecing a block. When I got off the phone, I looked at that block and said, now what pattern were you following? Right. I normally do pretty good on here, but when I've got pieces that's more like in a particular order, not necessarily a block, I start messing stuff up. Just sewing anything. Just looking for a butterfly. Is there a butterfly? Butterflies at the bottom. Turn it around, the wings. So the antennas go or facing up. All right. Sue says, congratulations. I love when I get a new machine. Yes, they are exciting. Even used ones are exciting. And then reaccomplished after the ripping is done. That's Melissa. Yep, but I already had a feeling I was going to be doing this. Like I said, I don't have every piece numbered because the only thing that matters is my panel, that they go in a correct orientation. And then I'm using two fabrics. It's not like they're different quilt blocks or different colors of my other pieces. So I did not lay them out. I was being lazy. And every once in a while, when you're being lazy, you're going to have to rip. It's just how it is. All right. Yeah, I just got one more row. So, okay. Just looks a little weird. Doesn't take many pieces to do this. It's going to take longer for me to press it. So I'm just going to press everything towards the print because the print is totally checkerboard completely out throughout the entire thing. So that'll be easy. Press it all towards the print. Dark print. Because I got two prints. Just trying to see. I don't know what that is. I'm just trying to sew anything for chain piecing here. I can't find strings. I'm still working on other strings for another African quilt, but I don't have them in here. Or if I do, they're not where I can see them right now. All right, so that is number 4. We got 7 columns, so that's 4. We're about to do number 5. So now we're using the panel print and the black print. All right, cut this off, get it ready. I'll just lay that there. All right, see if we can do this column correct. Butterfly, butterfly. Let's see. I'm concentrating big time now. I'm quiet. I think I know the pattern, but then I'm making myself look because last time I got too relaxed and sewed the wrong thing. So I want to make sure. Hi, Earlene Butler. She's here saying hi, T and fellow quilters. I hope all is well with everyone. Vivian Calvi has also come in here. Hey, Vivian. And who else? She says she loves her African quilts. Yes. And that's why I'm trying to get more of those, more African prints quilts made. Even if I don't get them quilted, just getting at least the tops done, because I haven't even quilted my African queen quilt yet. So I'm working on just trying to get some tops done so I can have different things to do with the African fabrics. All right. We're on row number 4. Technically 7. All right. And I don't even have anything to show you because I'm up here chain piecing it. But I'll show you this big mess when I get through with it. Or I can show it to you when I take it off the next time. That's what I can do. I'm just sewing and reading chats. Mary Stannard says, I don't hate using seam ripper since I stole my husband's mustache trimmer. Hello all and happy birthday. That's nice. 5C is next. And then we have a print. Do we have any butterflies? Not in this one. Okay. I think I could have, used that iron a little bit. my goodness. All right, and now we're on 6C. 6C. All right. All right, so I've got 5 of the 7 on there, I think. So I will show you what I have. It's not going to look like anything until it's sewed. But hey, here it is. This is the top. See? Just one big old mess, but it's all chained together. It's 11 rows on here. And I've got 11 going down, 11 across. So 1C is what we just did. So I got 2 more. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. Don't tell me I don't even have enough squares cut. This is crazy. Like, I can't count. And I don't even have the bag in here. So I'm going to have to go get it. I don't even have enough to do the next column. I only got 1 here. Unless it fell out. Like, I did show it. And maybe I mixed some stuff up. And maybe I just miscounted. Let's see. Background. 28 of them. Well, I don't have 28 here. I can tell you that. Ta-da! Let's read some chat comments. Oh my goodness. Ed T, lazy is not the same as distracted, or so I tell myself. Yeah. Well, I was too lazy to put like masking tape or number each actual square. So that's what I meant by being lazy. Hey, C Joy, she's here reminding people to hit the thumbs up. Thank you, ma'am. Bonita says, looks good so far. Grid work pattern has pieces A, B, C, D. I made too many C's and had to rip them apart to make them into D's. Right. Is that a big quote? No, it's only 50 by 70 with the final border. And I'll show it again since some people have just come in. But it's called Color Shift. You can get it free online. Just Google it or go to pattie'spatchwork.com. And they've got this quilt in black and white background. And I'm using instead of a solid for the background, I'm using a black print that has leaves and butterflies. So that's what I'm doing. We're going to call for a timeout. So I can go get my pieces, my fabric, so I can cut, I think. Because apparently I can't cut to 28. I think I was stacking strips and I must have miscounted. So let me go get that and I'll be right back. Oh my goodness. Actually, I'm really concerned because this was inside of a bag and I don't know why it's not in a bag now. I had it in a bag when I took it out, but it's sitting there not in a bag. I got some squares here, but it's still not going to be enough. I got enough to do the next row, maybe. 1, 2, 3. Nope. I'm one short from doing the next row. And I have no idea why I don't have the right number of squares. And that it's not in the bag. So that's a whole nother issue. So we don't know what the problem is right now. So we're going to cut a strip because I haven't pressed any of this fabric anyway except for the panel. All the things you should not do, I'm doing today. So we're just going to cut another strip that's not pressed. It'll all be the same, right? So I need 6 more pieces is what I need. All right. I got all the scrap cuttings here. I didn't have any leftover strips on the black though. All right, just cut a few squares. Call it a day. Oh my goodness, sorry about your dad. You know, everything is serious when you're ill anyway, so just even having a nosebleed can be awful. Thank you, Mary, said that it's beautiful. Teresa Louise, I quilt too, saying hello T and friends. Hey, Teresa. Vicky Lemire saying hello. And people are sending good wishes for Remo's dad. All right. I need 6 of these. 2. 4. I'm laughing at my wrinkles. You know, from where the fold is on your fabric. Because I didn't press it. All right. Oops. I'm going to turn that around the other way. Put this back. We've got our 6 pieces here. Put that back. And these up here. All right. Back to the top. So what are you all working on tonight? I don't think anybody has stated what they're working on today. All right. So that's 4 of those sewed together. These are all twisted up together, so I guess we can cut these apart. Sew these into 4s. 4s are a good size to press. All right. Dee Dee said, I'm making my hand stitch Christmas cards. That's beautiful. I don't even know if I don't think I'm sending Christmas cards. I did do a Christmas letter, but I did not do a Christmas card. To see, let's see. Got to see if it's a butterfly. I'm trying to be consistent with that, and I don't care about the rest. And I don't see a butterfly on this piece. So then I'm trying to put the part that has to fold down first because I can see it from the top. Uh-oh, came unthreaded. I kind of did jam on the foot really fast. And it was stuck in there, so I had to pull it out backwards. Ugh. Oh, just go away. Okay. Let me lift this foot up. Where are you jammed? Oh, this moved. And it was pressed against my thread. I got my little adding machine, my label makers behind my machine, and they fell into the spool of thread that's on a freestanding stand. I use bigger cones of thread. Go away. We don't want any error messages. Hold on, let me go back and see what people are working on. I see Dee Dee's. Jason says, Lord, I have been starching and pressing fat quarters for like 2 hours now. That's funny. He's getting ready, I guess, for boho hearts. Teresa says, I'm working on a Christmas quilt. Now I'm making dinner, so that's cool. Vivian's in bed. Yes, we know to which wrinkles you were referring. Sue says, working on scrap Christmas quilt. And Darcy says, we've been here almost an hour and only 78 thumbs up. And there are 118 people here. Make sure you take a quick peek and see if you have remembered to hit it. So thank you, Darcy. Just took a pecan pie out of the oven. I saw somebody making that. I'm one of those people. I only have about maybe 5 desserts that I eat. Dee Dee says, we got your Christmas ladder. I am sending you one of my handmade cards. So that'll be cool. I'll show it on here. Francis says, rent paid. Thank you, Francis. Vicky says, a label maker tee. It's not what you think. Trying to figure out which one of these things is the lightest. Something light. Ugh, that one's not it. Ugh, this one's light. Labels like this. So I put my pieces inside of these containers and then I label them so I know what projects are in which one of these. And I actually have 2 of them. I label everything, and then I like those labels because most times they're not sticky when they come off. It just depends on how long they've been on there. Or I can just put another label over the top if I want to as well. And not the fat labels like the address labels. And I use Dymo, probably dirty because it's just been sitting here collecting dust. But I use Dymo label. Let me get my hand off the name of it. Right there, that's one of them. And this one is set up. They're both set up like you're typing. And then this just happens to be another model. So I use both of these. And this model is P-Touch. And I think I can get Dymo from Walmart if I need more labels. And I think this one I have to order like through Amazon or something like that. It's a Brother. Now I see it. P-Touch by Brother. So that's what this is. So, and it just fell. I had them stacked on top of each other. And they just fell into the spool of thread back there. Ugh. Get my pieces up since I've been moving around. And we need to start back sewing. And there you go, Vicky. P. Gilliam says, just watching earlier, put the quilt sandwich together for a crumb lap quilt. And I'll start the hand quilting next week. Oh, honey, you brave to be stitching through all them a crumb lap quilt. You're gonna hand quilt? That is amazing. That's a lot of stitching through a lot of seams. Sue Baker says she paid her rent. That's nice. Mary is decorating and got the cats in from the rain. Darcy's working on 2 quilts at once. They are both blue, so I hope I don't mix anything up. Yeah, that would be me. One is a Jelly Belly and the other one is grid work, so that's cool. She says, okay, Dawn, I thought you had a fabric one. No, ma'am. I do my labels for my quilts on my embroidery machine. And I have a video. If you just Google Teaquilts quilt labels, and it'll show you the different ways that I make quilt labels. It just depends on the complexity of the quilt that I'm making. Joanne says she has that same Dymo label maker. Yes, I think you can get that, like I said, at Walmart. And they've got maybe a cheaper brand, but I tend to go middle of the road whenever I buy anything. I tend to go middle of the road. And then the Brother P Touch, I think somebody else gave that one to me. I didn't purchase that one. Oh, she says that the brother, Remo is saying the brother you can get from Joanne. I have no way of knowing that, but that's good to know. And I got it from a quilter too, so it might make sense that it does. Liz is cutting and sewing fabric baskets, so that's cool. Mary says I also have to label everything. Yeah, if I don't label some of these things, it's like I'll never know what that project is. So just seeing the labels help. And then when I get something done out of it, then I can take that label off. Because that one's light. It used to have 3 on there, and it's only got 2 now. So I finished something that was in there. But that's where I go and like my knot today was pre-cut like a year ago. And so then I pulled it out and finished that. So I go whenever I'm doing lives, I either have to cut something that I want to get done. Like this, it has no deadline, but I want to get it done. I don't want to forget about it, get it buried. And I just bought this year. So I just was like, you know what, we're going to do it on Sew and Chat. There is no rush for this. If she gets it by Christmas, it would be wonderful. There's a possibility that she might. But if not, that's okay too. So just do a few more seams. Melissa says, thank you, T. Got me looking like a plum fool going to the mailbox this late at night, making the neighbor's dog bark whole 9 yards. Well, you know what? I don't know. I'm still in the process of sending some stuff out. And that's one of the things I didn't tell you all that I'm doing. So I haven't got everything addressed either. I did like 70. I sent at least 70 letters. But that was something else that I was working on, and I'm still working on them. I probably got like another 50. My hand got tired. I was writing them, and now I'm in my computer trying to figure out if I can do them on my computer. So yeah, I did 70, and I had to do some orders, so I had to stop working on them. But you know, if I have stuff here and let it sit too long, I've been on lost it, so I went ahead and put those 70 in the mail. So if you haven't gotten one from me, it's still coming probably. I'm still working on it. And you know, I told you all this week I was wanting to get those done this week. I just didn't tell you what I was trying to get done. But, you know, stuff has happened this week, and stuff keeps happening. I'm all the way up to Sunday, my whole entire week. The entire week from Monday to Sunday has been reorganized for everybody else. Not what I was intending to do. So it's a little bit rough here. I was taking my envelopes with me, filling them out while I was in other places. So helping out friends and family, you know. So that's how I got that many done. All right, we're at the bottom. And we got one more column. I'm looking for the butterfly. We got one more column to add on. I think this is number 6, and we just got number 7. All right. Sam's carries the P-Touch label maker and refill cartridges, so that's good to know. I do have that close to me. A lot of times I tend to just go, if I don't know where, because if I get something as a gift and then when I run out, I just tend to go to Amazon because they can send it to me. Now Sam's, I can get them to ship to me for free too, being one of the advantage I don't know what they call it, having a higher paying membership. And they have to do it because I could get in the store early. Now they don't do that anymore. Not here. Or not the one by my house. It all opens up at 10 now, instead of me being able to go at 7. This is just 4 pieces sewed together. Chain piece and getting rid of that. I hate long strings, so let me cut that. All right. All right. So we need a print. So my piece is all the way out here now. I got my last row pieces both up here. Looking for the butterfly. There isn't one. So we just put it down. All right. I need to still read some comments. Let's see. Phyllis says, I am crumb quilting. First is a color wash block, so that's cool. The other is a crumb strips around a 5-sided block. Now that's cool too. Starting with 5 sides, make us a nice, interesting end to your crumb block. Diane 57's here saying hi, everyone. Phyllis G says, I bought my P-Touch from Office Depot on sale a few years back, so that's cool to know. So I'm hoping that I don't have to buy one anytime soon. I've had mine for at least 15 years, so something. It's been a while. And I did it again. Oh my gosh. Don't sew and talk. It's dangerous. Um Good night, Judy Smith. She says, got to say good night. You take care. Have a great week. See you Wednesday, hopefully. Um, I don't know how long I'm gonna be up. I'm so tired. I'm gonna try to stay up to midnight so I can do the stash or pass. And then that'll be the end of that. I've been doing those on my cell phone too. I haven't been using the iPad for those. I think I've used the cell phone for all of them. I know I've done it for at least 2. Because I'm not going to be on here long, so I don't have to worry about the comments. All right. Okay. Now I need to pull up some of these threads. All right. Get the right piece of fabric, child. Butterfly is right there. So, all right. Sew the right piece. I'm looking at my numbers and I want to sew them right in a row, and it's like, nope, you got a spacer in between. Mm-mm. So this is going to be interesting. What time is it? 9:15. I'm hoping that I can get some of the row or two. So something. I should be able to get a row or two. So all right, butterfly right there. Um, P. Gilliam says, been quilting over 30 years. I find hand quilting relaxing. And I am the total opposite. I admire you people that can do that can do the hand quilting. It drives me bonkers. And the bigger the quilt, the worse my mental state is. Now, if it's like a 12-inch square, something like that, 12 by 18, I can do that. You start talking about any type of quilt used for a person, even a baby, it drives me nuts. But the bigger it gets, the worse my mental state. It has never been one of my favorite things to do, and I had such high hopes of being an accomplished hand quilter. I even bought my Roxanne thimble. I bought, I think it was a Gilbert hand frame. I think it was Gilbert. I can't remember the name. I still got it probably. But yeah, I even bought the bird's nest for my thimble and everything. The Roxanne thimble. Mm-mm-mm. All right. How come I'm still short one square? This is crazy. All right, we're going to keep on. No, I'm not short. Okay. Because I'm like, I can't count to 6. Goodness. Okay. I think I should be all right. Where's the butterfly? I want this part over with now. And that's one of the reasons why I changed piece everything, because there is no more opportunity for me to switch something around. No more mess ups. I do this with my quilt blocks like this as well. So if I had like 12-inch quilt blocks, I do the same thing. All right. All right, just gotta sew something to get it off. And we're gonna start sewing rows together now. I got plenty of them. Some of this fabric is so awfully old. It's so thin. It just shows you the difference in new fabric and old fabric. All right. It's one huge mess. So I'm just going to go up here to this top row. I'm not even going to press anything. I am just going to use pins, and we're going to press the seams toward the black print. And then I'll press the entire top before I sew. I prefer, before I sew on the border, because all it is just a print border, if I'm not mistaken, after this. Let me make sure. Yep. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to do for binding. And that be it. Very simple quilt. But I want to get a couple of the rows sewed so I can show you. I'm working on a Mr. Grinch quilt. That's cool. I just printed project worksheets. I am making an outfit for New Year's. Husband is coming to celebrate 2023. Yay. I'm making a pantsuit red. I am setting up boho heart. So Remo is busy. Craftful Love says, I am upcycling an army jacket for a customer. So that's what I'm working on. That's cool. Mary's, I am found a picture of an old Morning Glory block, and I'm trying to draw out the pattern. So that's cool. Phyllis, I'm working on a circle of 9 quilt with the 5-sided crumb blocks. Circle of 9 quilt with the 5-sided crumb box. And Lena saying, thank you for my Christmas letter. You're welcome, Lena. Remo 2. Oh my word, like a bank. What is Melissa talking about? I'm so far behind now. I fully understand, T. That has been my week also. Yep. Vivian Calvi is saying thank you as well. Diane says, I've been working on getting the mats off my dog. Next time I'm going to groom her first. Vivian saying good night. She's probably long gone. Selena Haffenden says hi to T and everyone. Hello, Selena. Welcome. I'm trying to see if I can get a couple of these rows. So, whoops. So we can see some of this pattern come out. Drop my pen. And my apple cider is no longer hot. Just lukewarm. All right. So I'm going to pin a row at the top, and then I'm going to go into the middle somewhere and pin a row at the middle so I can sew 2 at a time. And then if I do that twice, I'll have at least 2 rows, 3 rows at the top sewed together, 2 in the middle. So we'll just fold this down right here and pin another row in the middle. And then I can sew both of these without having to cut my thread. And again, I haven't pressed anything, but I'm just using my pins to press my seams where I want them to, well, lay my seams where I want them to go. And we'll see. Like I said, this ain't number square, so I'm not that worried about this one. Selena saying, what have I missed? Nothing. We just chatting. I'm sewing like a checkerboard quilt. I'm just trying to get some rows sewed, so you'll be seeing it soon. I have nothing to show yet. It's not going to make any sense until I sew some of these rows together. Everything has been chain pieced. Lena says her Sam's don't open up the door for the older crowd either anymore in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Yep. I'm mad because I paid. That's why I bought it's 2 reasons I bought the extended membership. One was because I could shop before the average shoppers come in because I can get in and get out. And they don't do that anymore. And then also you get credits back that it ends up paying for my membership. So my membership end up being free by me purchasing stuff. All right, so let's sew any row. Just get it that I got pinned. It doesn't matter which one. This is the middle one. And we're going to do this at least twice. And I don't have to worry about back stitching because it's got a border. It's got a border coming. Don't want to hit the pin. I got these pins pretty close to the top because I want to make sure those seams are where I want them to go. I normally, being left-handed, I pull my pins back so I can just sew right through it. But I want to make sure they don't move on me. there. All right. Okay, get in the right position, seam allowance. This pin's back a little further. All right. All right, other half. Cornstarch gets tangles out with a dry brush. Hubby's wants to get me a new iron. I don't know which one to get. I mean, if you're talking about a cheap iron, people have been buying cheap irons, and I have no problems with that because I was doing that for a long time. But now pre-COVID, I bought 2 Alissos, and I bought the first Alisso maybe 2018 or 2019 at a quilt show, and that iron is still working. I even took that iron to retreat, and I bought a second one because I said, okay, I got a good result with this, so I went and bought a second one that I haven't even used yet. I don't normally keep irons very long because I'm very prolific. My irons are on all day. I burned through Rowintas in 6 months. So I have had no issues with my Olisso, and I like the heat from the iron, from the Kai iron that I purchased off of Amazon too. I gave that link in the video where Kevin is doing the starch. That one, it stays with heat. Now I have not put water in that iron though. My Olisso, I put water in the iron and haven't had any problems. And this is my second Olisso that I'm using. I got a third one just because I wanted to make sure I got a good one. And I'm glad I did before COVID. So I know I got a good one. But I look like they might be coming out with, better features on the Olissos. Not getting worse, but getting better. But that's up to you. If you want a cheap iron, I know a lot of people do that because they burn them, they don't last long. Just go buy you a new iron in 6 months and be done. I know I'm never buying another Rowenta. I know that. Somebody give it to me, it'll be great. But I'm not spending my coins on it. Making sure I got my seam the right way here since I'm talking. All right. So now I just did those 2 rows that I pinned. So I need to stitch onto something else. It's so pretty. All right. Right here. I'm hitting the mic. Sorry. Had to lean in there. Cut this. So this is actually the top. So this is the start of the checkerboard, and you really can't see anything else. And then here is my middle, where I've done those 2 rows. Whoops. My top part's coming down. Trying to get to the middle. Where is that? Right here. Where is it? Right here. See, it's this row here, but it's because it's flipping over. I can't show it. So let's see if I can hold the row above it. So I don't know if you all can see that row has been sewn there. So we're going to do it one more time, and then that'll be 4 rows. 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom. Hopefully that'll help to see this a little better. 3 rows will help. Good night, Sue. It's 1:15 Sunday here in Australia. That's from Selena. I admire any handwork, but I do not have the patience either. That's also Selena. Kim Burris is here saying hello. Where is Kevin? Someone needs to remind you how tall you are not. Kevin is sick. He's not feeling good. He's got severe back issues. Getting tests done and nothing is showing up so far, so don't really know what to treat. So Kevin's not doing good. It's been almost a week now. Well, it has been a week now. Only thing I can do by hand is the other side of the bindings because I'm terrible at stitching a ditch. And I was one of those quilters that was gung-ho about finishing the binding by hand, but I've learned that if I'm not gonna present that quilt in a show anywhere, or if it's a baby quilt or I'm giving it away, I've been doing that stuff by machine, both sides. um Only sewing I do by hand is Y seams, and I do Y seams by machine too. Love how you have the quilt pattern posted so you can easily reference. Yes, this is an Qu8lt here that has a stand, but it also has a connection that hooks onto the desk. So I use it on the stand, or is it on the desk? I probably just use it on the desk now. Okay, so it's on the stand here. I wanted to make sure I'm saying it right. And then what I do is I have my clip onto my desk. And then when I get ready to travel to retreats, I just take the clip off. And then I pull the light comes apart halfway. And then I can hook it onto my table when I go to retreats. But I keep the stand there. So I never have to, I always know where my base is. I just come back home and I just slide it right back into the base. So I do like that Qu8lt. And this is just one of the original first Qu8lts. It's been working, and all I've ever had to do was just buy a new bulb once. When I bought it, I bought two of them, and I probably can't tell you right now where the other bulb is because I wouldn't have put it with the house light bulbs because they wouldn't use it. But yeah. I can't even tell you where it's at because I've had it so long now and haven't had to use it. Because I thought once it blew the first one that the second ones weren't going to last as long. But I've had that light a long, long time. Probably since I've been in this room, probably, I don't know, about 20 years. Because I used to sew in a different room. So that's one row. Let's go back to the top. Fold this row down. And we'll start to see a little bit more at the top. So that's how I sew my rows together. I do the top two rows, and then I go to the middle of the quilt and go from the bottom down, and then I can always sew two of my rows at one time, especially when I'm pressing as I'm doing the rows. Then I got space in between pressing. I go press two things. And I like to get up and press because it's in a different room, so that's where I get my few little steps from. And I mostly use my steam press when I'm doing quilt blocks and stuff like that when I'm not really live. I was using it live for a long period of time, and then most of my stuff has been like tedious piecing that I needed to have specific pressing. So I'll press this on the iron because I haven't pressed anything, not even with my wood press like I normally do. So I'm going to have to press this with an iron. That heat press, it'll just lay the seams whichever way they want to go. So I just think I did two. I think I did two. Yeah. So now we're going to go ahead and sew these two seams. And I got to do 10 of them. So I got to do this 5 times. I got 11 rows. So that's 5 seams in between those 11 rows. And I want to get this piece off just so I don't have them still stuck on there. Erling Butler is talking to Selena. They're talking to each other. That's cute. And not anymore banks, maybe insurance companies. Oh, okay. It went straight to the fridge. Good night, Francis. Hot apple cider. Tell me more. You know what? I do make my own hot apple cider, but there's also some that you can buy in the packages. And I found that out because somebody had it for a Qu8lt. So you can even buy them for your Qu8lt. But I do make my own apple cider. I just put, I get like, actually, I stopped buying those little bags that you cook. Those little bags you buy to put stuff in. It's kind of mesh. I forget what they call them. I actually just use muslin. So I cut me a piece of muslin and I put in orange peels, cinnamon, whole cinnamon stick, whole cloves, whole something else, cloves, whole cloves, whole nutmeg. That's it, whole nutmeg. I just put those 4 items into a piece of cloth, and then I tie that cloth up so that it doesn't float freely in my apple cider. I buy apple cider, and then I put that in there, and then let it get the pot simmering, boiling, and then I put a simmering thing on it, and then I let it go, and that's what I serve at Christmas. It makes your house smell good, and it tastes good. And why is this square not the same size as the other squares? Like, where they do that at? It's like a 1/2 inch too short. Okay, I'll fix that. I'm just gonna stitch here, and then I'm gonna have to break this thread. Okay. I have no idea where they do that at. I have to add a piece onto the edge. I want to sew this other one because I got pins in it and I don't want to get stuck. It's like, I think I did not cut. I must not have cut what I just cut here. I looked at 5.5, but apparently it's not. It's just 5. Okay. Because I got it at the beginning here too. Well, maybe this was the stuff that I pulled out of the stack that I cut wrong. Because I don't think I cut what I just cut here. I think that might have been why I was in there, but you know. So I'll be cutting some pieces, some 1-inch strips to add on to those. We'll fix it up. When it's quilted, you'll never know. That's one thing about being, once you're comfortable being a advanced sewer, quilter, whatever you want to call yourself, you don't panic when stuff like that happens because you know how to fix it without it being a big problem. And I'm trying to make sure this end, every other end, I just got 2 pieces that weren't long enough. I don't know what's up with that, but we're going to fix it. We're going to make them long enough. We are not trimming off any of our fabric. All right. Do I have other pieces over here in pairs? Nope. These are all singles. Not that one. It's this one's right. All right. Just need to sew off my piece here. Is it? I got plenty of time. Look. until the time runs out. All right, so I just sewed 4 of 10 rows. So this is the bottom. So this is where I have 3 rows sewn together here. 3 rows there and 3 rows at the top here. These here are done. So I can turn it this way. This is the top. And you can kind of see where the color is changing slightly already. And I'm going to go back and see if I can do another one. This is number 4. So, and anything that's short on the end, let me see. This is to the end. Let's see if this one's to the end. It's already got 2 places I got to correct. See? It's here too. So what I'm going to do is pull this little thing back in here. Cut a 1-inch strip. Because it's a 1/2 inch short and I've got to add back a 1/2 inch for the seams. So maybe I'll cut 4 just in case. We'll see. It won't hurt anything to have 4 of them just in case. I know I need 3. What did I just cut? So I'm cutting 6. Oh my, girl. Some days you just have those days, right? But like I said, I'm still not panicking because I know what to do. So I just cut some little 1-inch strips here. And I'm going to just sew these on where it's short. And I'm going to go take it off. Seam ripper. I'm going to take this off. It was even, I didn't realize it the first time it did it. So it pulled the stitching on the back and it's not even at the top. Because I was like making it fit. It was, my feed dogs were easing it in. So I want to correct all of that. See, I love my seam ripper. Oh my goodness. All of your projects sound so fun. I am still here pressing. That's he talking to Remo when he said that. All right. So, this piece here needs a 1-inch piece. And we got to find all the other ones. So we're going to be breaking thread until we can just go ahead and find the other ones and get them fixed. Or fix the ones I know I got to fix, right? Maybe not. I don't know if I had one. No, this row here, I didn't even sew a piece on it. Here. My wood press is not even in here. Like, where they do that at? Where's my wood press? I haven't even used. Oh, it's all out of position. And I don't like pressing on top of this plastic tray. Bernina could have done better with that. All right. So now I go back and sew this row together that's missing. Make sure this intersection is good. Yeah, the intersection is good. All right, come on. Just get the problem fixed first. All right. And why didn't that stitch? Am I out of thread or something? Didn't even stitch. I don't know what that was about. I only sewed one piece. I'm putting a pin in here this time. Like, what did I just sew? I thought I sewed this seam because it's the one piece I just put on. And it's not sewed. See if my machine has come unthreaded. It's sewing now. Okay. Cut that. Let me get down to the bottom. Just don't sew your finger. Right. I've been cutting. I've been getting I have never sewed my finger, but I have been catching my ring. T did tell us where she got her free pattern from. Patty's Patchwork. Yes. Thank you, Darcy. www.pattysPatchwork.com is where it's from. It's called Color Shift. I have the yellow one and the pink one. I have the Oliso Arms and Love 'em. That's some Selena. I am a lefty also. My husband and I both are left-handed and our son is right. That's from Darcy. Yes. I actually made one of my nephews left-handed. All right. So let's go ahead and sew one more. I won't worry about correcting the ones that are wrong. Just trying to correct the ones before I sew. So I know this one is ready. So I can pin it. That's my goal anyway. Because I just need to go back and add an inch. I didn't sew the ends when I noticed. So that I don't even have to rip on the other ones. I just need to add my little piece. And I'm trying to get more rows sewed so more of the quilt shows. Does anyone have a Barbara Brackman book that they're interested in selling? I do not want to sell my Barbara Brackman book. I'll look and see just to make sure I don't have a second one. I'll make sure, but I do know that I do have a Barbara Brackman book, but I'm not sure if I've got a second one. Sometimes people donate books. Sue donated some books, but I can't remember if that book was in there. I seriously doubt it, but I'll check just to make sure. All right, that's one done on that end. Now we're going to go down here. I don't know what happened. I thought I had this row done already. Let's see if it's needing a piece. It's slightly too little. It might need a piece and then I can square that off. So let me just pin it at the seam. It might need a piece. I'll come back, check the other end. So I know where I am. I think the pieces that I didn't use, I must have miscut. And then I put them to the side and then never did make the right. Now this one's the right size on this end. So that's why those pieces weren't in here. And I never did go back and recut. Don't know why. All right. I'll be 2 seams short when we go to end here. 2 seams short of having the inside of it done. And then the outside is just one plain border. And since I'm using a directional print, I will be cutting it to make sure that it falls right on my fabric as well. So I'm just going to add a piece on here And then I'll just trim the extra off because this one wasn't that much off. I don't know what's going on with that. It was only like 1/4 of an inch too little. And then this is where it'll definitely be here because the binding will cover it. Well, no, the border piece. It'll be in the border. All right. Come on. Press that over. Not up here. I got my tools everywhere now. Everything's out of order. When I start seeing 10 o'clock roll up, it's like, we don't have time for that. I can put this ruler back, though. We don't need that. All right. So we'll just trim off what I don't need afterwards. Just it's about 1/4 of an inch, a little bit. Okay. All right. Just be 2 seams short of finishing. Who knows? I might stay here and get it done. Right there. Smaller. Can I get my pen, please? Thank you. All right. All right. Sew these 2 together. Just to get it off. Oh no, I got to sew the other side. I got some sewing to do yet. All right. All right. Cut that off because they're connected in a circle. All right. And you know what? You could do this with any panel too. You don't have to necessarily do it with this panel. Let's see. I have not read comments in a long time. I'm going down to the bottom, y'all. I have her Civil War book, but I want the encyclopedia. Yeah. Sue says, oh, she's talking to somebody else. Good night, Lena. She's at church tomorrow. I do too. So. All right. Okay. Now, this piece here, I thought I checked and said it didn't need a piece, but it does. So I'm going to just stop in the middle. I'll add the 1 inch onto that later. Anything at the end is not sewed to, I know I need a 1 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I still got 4 more seams to sew. But it's getting further down. And again, this hasn't been pressed. I can't even see it. And then down here, I have this section here that's sewed. So I still got 4 more seams to go. 4 more rows. Sorry. So let's see what we can do in 6 minutes. I still got those end pieces I gotta put on. This fits. This one fits. Well, no, it doesn't. The reason why it's fitting is because I'm holding it, but I'm not at the edge. And so it needs a piece. And when I put the seam allowance and pin it, I think it fits when I'm holding it. And when I get to the other end, it does not fit. So I'm just going to sew that and see. And this one fits. Good night, Severita. Alrighty. That one's done. This end is all lined up right there. Let's see. Put that together. That lines up. And on this end, this is the end I'm currently sewing on, I bet. Hold on. Okay. 1B. So yeah, it's up here. This is the stuff that needs to be added on. It's up there. Let's see. Okay, so I need a piece right here, but it fit right here. So oh, it's folded under. That'll work. That might be what happened with that other piece that was only a 1/4 inch, because I didn't press my fabric, Yeah. This piece here needs 1. So we'll put 1 on this one. I know I got some rows I haven't sewed that need a piece. But right now I don't even see it. Isn't that crazy? Oh. I must have looked at the wrong end. All right. So this one right here gets 1. And then I finish this seam right here. Gets 1, and then I finish the seam. Heading to bed myself. Good night, everyone. Have a great Sunday. Good night, Jason. Uh-oh, that one went crooked. I'm using my seam ripper today. I don't think I've used this thing this much in my life. Just not paying attention. And I use pins too. I'm not using pins. Much better. I'm not going to break my thread anymore. I'm sick of wasting my thread too. I like my thread to be in my quilts. So we'll get that off. And I don't even know where I was pinning anymore. I'm just trying to correct seams at this point. Okay. So I had a pin here and it fits. So this is where I was pinning. And we're going to go ahead and do that. So I almost got it completely pieced here with my little errors that I had. Deanne says, who was it that wanted the Barbara Brackman Encyclopedia? I might have two, and I'll look tomorrow. That is Melissa LePage. You can just email me if you have it or not, and I'll let her know. Teaquilts at teaquilts.com, and then that way she doesn't have to put her personal stuff out in the chat for everybody. I'll let her know. Good night, Mona. Okay, so that's one. And we're going to go over to this side and do one. And we'll have to see if they match up. Okay. And put some pins. So I got 4 more rows of seams to do here. Maybe I come back next week and I'll be doing the binding. Who knows? And anything extra I have, I will just cut off. I'll trim this up from me adding those pieces on. I might just stay my little self right here and get it done, because this is one of those things. I don't know if you all have ever been in a project where, you know, if you don't fix what you got to do, you don't want to come back to it. That's not what you want to come back into your sewing room to, because then it's like, if it's not a fun project where a fun part where you starting, if it's a hassle, then you don't want to come back into your sewing space because you know you got to do it. So I might just sit my little self here. I'm going to finish these 4 rows. So if you all want to go, I fully understand. I'm a person that a night owl. Even when I got to go somewhere in the morning, I get up and I'm functional. So it doesn't bother me if I only get like 4 or 5 hours, 3 hours of sleep. It doesn't bother me. I can function to get through an event and then deal with it after that, you know, crash and burn afterwards. But I'm normally okay with that. So I'm going to sit here and sew. I'm going to leave the camera going. If you want to leave, I appreciate you all stopping in. And I might even be up for the stasher pass too. So I got to do that. So I'm not going to stay on here until midnight, though. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm going to stay here and finish this quilt. I think that's going to be about another half hour or less. Like, I'm sewing 2 or 4 seams now. I'm sewing, you know, I got them pinned. So, and then I got a couple end pieces I need to fix. I fixed one. So it's not going to take a half hour, but I'm going to stay here and get it done. That's 1 of 4. And here is 2 of 4. Bonita says, good, I'm still sewing. I'll keep you company. All right. Because I'm going to get this done. I don't like coming back to mistakes and got to remember that I got to do something special because I got to sew these 1-inch strips on. It's like, no, they're going to be sewed on before I walk out of this room. I can't do that. Okay. Gets a little twisted on itself. All right. One down to the edge here. Sew on some scrap. And cut my threads. All right. Two more rows I need to check the ends on before I sew them. So this goes out, but it's folded because it's not pressed. So I need to just put a pin in here so it doesn't flip. I think that's what happened to the other piece that I sewed a piece onto. All right, because that was like a 1/4 inch. I think it was just folded under. All right. And then hopefully this week I can find some time to sew the borders on here, and then when I come and quilt it, and then when I come back I'll just be doing the binding at the machine for Sew and Chat. I'll save the binding for Sew and Chat. And I really don't care what's on the back of the quilt. So that end matched up. We're at the bottom. Final row on the bottom. Uh-oh, I forgot to trim the piece off. And let's check the bottom row. Oh, I already have piece sewed on there. That's good. So I don't have to sew it on this side. I've got a calculator. How many strips? What is she saying? Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Good night, Ray. Thank you so much. So you said you wanted to stay up till midnight. Doing that might help you? Yeah, I do want to stay up to midnight so I can do the stash or pass. So, but I think I got 2 more seams, and then I have to look at the edges to see if they're all sewed. I sewed one by mistake, and I remember taking it apart. So if anything else is loose on the end, it just needs a piece. And we should be okay. I'm getting close. Like I said, it won't. I'm definitely should be done by 10:30 for sure. So I got 2 more rows to sew, complete rows, and then I thought I had like 2 more partials I had to do, but maybe I'm sewing more than I think. But I don't remember doing a second partial. I remember doing one, and this end goes all the way down, so it doesn't need a piece. And then when I sew this one, I'm going to take off this starter piece so I don't forget. All right, I got to go down a little bit further. Okay, take this off. Okay. Okay, Melissa. She says, I'm in my happy place, so I'll say, speaking up for all the night, what has everyone got planned for New Year's Eve? New Year's Eve during the day, my scrap club is actually meeting, and then I'm coming home and going to be watching on television when the Times Square ball drops. That's all I plan. I don't plan on being out celebrating. Liz says, I'm a night owl. It's 11 p.m. now. You come on 1 a.m. my time. I'll be here. That's funny. I'm a night owl too. I like the night. Hello, Miss T. Finally flew home tonight from Florida. I went in and opened my first 3 items from the Missouri Starbucks. Hee hee. That's nice, Betsy. I would have taken them things with me. I think the first 3 items were good items, personally. I'm not mad at the first 3 items. All right. Got to sew the final row, and then we got to check for partial rows where half of a block on the end is not sewed. You got to do an inspection. And I sure hope I don't run out of thread. I changed my bobbin earlier today because I don't even have any bobbins wound. Okay, that's sewed. Just trying to make sure it's everything's good. If I ran out of thread now, I might have a breakdown. Oh my gosh. Because I want it done. Put in my last bobbin today. So then I'll wind about 10 at a time. And on these big bobbins for Bernina, that lasts me a long time. And then I've been piecing on other sewing machines too. I've been piecing on the Brother and the Foff. So I've been working on other machines as well. All right. I'm gonna cut this because I gotta do corrections. So it can't be connected anyway. So that needs to just be trimmed. Here's one here. Just need to square up now where I had to add the pieces just to make sure everything stays nice and flat. I'm not just making it fit. So I knew I had this one to fix. Now let's see if I have another one somewhere. And we're touching every seam to make sure. I don't want any surprises when I go to put this border on here. Well, look at that. I'm done with the quilt top. I'm going to take all of these pieces of tape off because I don't like for tape to be on here longer than necessary. I know what's the top. It starts with the red. I know by the butterflies in the print, so I can't mess that up. I made sure I turned all of the butterfly blocks right side up so the antennas were up. So, and then I'll show you what I got. It'll look a lot better without the tape in the middle. And I'm going to give it a good press before I do those final borders. The final border is just one border. And this is that's it. And what did they say the border is? Adding on background. Oh, that's pretty good size. It's 8-inch borders. I was trying to see what they were saying to cut. 8-inch borders. Okay. So it's gonna get a little size from the borders. So now I'm really glad I used this print. All right, get that off my machine. Oops, missed one. Missed two. Maybe I missed a whole row. Okay, just got the first one in a row and skip the other ones. Okay. All right, so we're done. Everything is fixed. That's one of the things that I never do is I never leave my craft room with a problem. If I have to rip when I come back, I don't want to come back in here. So I always do the whatever mistake I make, I fix it before I walk out of my craft room. Otherwise, I know I got to fix it when I come back, and I'm not prone to wanting to come back to do that. So I get it done while it's fresh in my head. And very tiny little thing. And then it's long though. And like I said, it's going to be 50 by 70, and it's just going to be like a throw. And you can see where the colors of the rainbow. So there's your green is going through the print right there. So I really like this. So I think it's cute. And I think when I show it to you on my deck, it'll show a whole lot better as well. And I just got to add the border, press this and add a border. So I think I'll do that and see if I can just get it quilted. I have no idea what yet. What type of quilting pattern. I might just do lines and just let the fabrics, because the fabrics are, you wanting to pull out that background. Maybe I'll use a piece of variegated thread and quilt that. Rhonda Barlow says, "Hey, 10 everyone. I did hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Rhonda." They doing some calculations, and I must have missed because I skipped a whole lot of stuff. Oh, they're calculating how long a jelly roll race is. So that's cool. Good night to Darcy as well. Sharon Lewis says the colors are nice. Deanna says, "Oh, that's pretty. Love it. Lovely," from Melissa and Benita. And Deanna says, "You have a good eye for colors, team." I know that when I showed this, it looks kind of weird, but they have it all black. And I'm like, that's too dark. It looks like a man quilt. And this quilt is for a lady. And so instead of this being black, I put this light color in here. And I thought it looked more, it brought it out a lot more. And then the background was solid black. This was a pin dot black. And this was a solid black. And I'm like, I can't do that. That's too dark. So I love this. I would love to put some floral quilting on here, but I think it will take away from the background rainbow, and that's the whole purpose of the panel. So maybe I'll just go ahead and do my little wavy lines and call it a day. After it gets pressed and squared up over here where I added, most of my adds were on this side, that when I pulled those pieces that were cut wrong, and I didn't know I had cut them wrong. So I had to add. So I'll square that side up and then get the border on here. I think I'm going to try to get it quilted so I can get it off of my to-do list. I got some customer quilts. I pulled batting out of my storage so that I can cut the batting for my customer quilt so I can get that out the way too. But I'm going to do this first because if she comes to town, she's out of town. If she comes to town for Christmas, and I think she is, then I can meet up with her and pass it to her at the same time. But it's not a Christmas gift. It's just because you're nice gift. She's also a teacher. She lives in Arizona. Or white squares, solid white, or white square, solid white. Please explain. Or the strips, amber fabrics. The strips is a panel, and you can do this with any panel. You're just basically cutting your panel apart, and you're doing like, instead of just a regular checkerboard with 2 fabrics, you're doing a checkerboard with 3 fabrics. So you pick one fabric that goes in all of your rows, which is my print. That's my background. That's considered the background. And then you're gonna, in one row, you're gonna use your background and fabric number 1, which could be your panel, which is your panel. And then in the second row, you're going to use your background and the alternate, which is my light. That's my print number 2. So you can go download this pattern again. It's called Color Shift. It's explained to me. It's simple what to do. They show you how to cut your panel, how to mark your panel pieces as you're cutting. And this was real easy to do. And I think it will work with any panel. You just pick a panel and then start pulling fabrics that will work with that particular panel. I just thought the fabrics that they had with it just made it look masculine instead of feminine. And this wasn't going to a male person. And it is like under their rainbow collection. I think when I went on her website, she's got a whole lot of other stuff because we bought some other stuff that's rainbow too. But I just like I like rainbow colors anyway. So that's what I did here, is just bought that. So again, here's how the checkerboard is falling out. You're going to have my panel is here. And then this is my background for the checkerboard. And you can see that checkerboard's all the way throughout the quilt. And then in the second row, you don't use your panel. You use your alternate fabric. And then you just repeat that all the way throughout your quilt. And you can make your quilt larger or smaller based on your panel and, you know, the size of your panel. If you got a really, one of those really large panels, then you can make a quilt a good size. This panel was 22 inches, I think. And so this was all that you could get with this size square for the panel. So I got 4 pieces out of the width of the panel this size. So, you know, and you don't even have to have a panel. Maybe you just got a piece of fabric. Like I just made that quilt for my quilting person that wanted a baby quilt. I just put the piece of fabric in the middle and just put 2 borders on it. Now it looks like it's like a panel quilt, but it's just a piece of fabric in the middle with 2 borders. So, you know, you don't have to make everything complicated. Sometimes simple is good. And this is just more of an appreciation quilt that I'm making here. If she, you know, wanted me to hire me to make a quilt for her, I would have done something different, you know, or more. But I actually still like this. I can't wait for me to press it and get my final borders on it. And then it is directional. So I could, and then they'll be turned sideways, and I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to go cut a piece of fabric for my top and bottom. That's making sure all of my stems and butterflies are upright. And then I'm going to cut a piece for my sides going the opposite direction. It's going to make me use more fabric, but I don't care because I just bought this fabric on clearance and I decided I was going to use it for this project. Whatever is left, I'll throw it onto the back and call it a day. So, and like I said, this is a small one, this quilt with the 8-inch borders. finishes at 50.5 by 70.5. So this is not a big quilt, not big at all. And I think that's it. I don't see any more questions unless I'm missing something. I think the last one I saw was from Carol. Let me make sure, because we're going to get off of here. It's 10:25. Yeah, so Carol was the last one. So I'm going to go heat up my apple cider that's in this cup and probably go ahead and press this since I'm up anyway, and then get this ready. So later, tomorrow, I got something to do tomorrow too, but whenever I get home, I can start the next week off with getting the borders cut so I can put them on here. So that's what I'm looking forward to next. And I will see you guys a little bit after midnight for Stash or Pass. Good night, everybody. You all stay safe, be blessed, and quilt out, everybody. Well, the wider the panel, she says, more squares you have. It just depends on the size of the panel and what size squares you're cutting. So if you download the pattern, just look and see what size they have with the size panel that this was. It's a 22 inch.